Welcome to the Future of Real Estate, your chance to find out what's going on in real estate and the real estate market. This morning show is brought to you by the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. RE/MAX is award winner for most transactions in Florida.
With the Ellis team at RE/MAX, it's a family affair. Always call the Ellis team, they'll handle you with care.
Welcome to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group in Fort Myers, Florida. If you haven't joined us before, you're in for a real treat. We're going to talk about real estate issues affecting you, and we'll do another segment on some of our hot properties of the week. But today we want to focus on some of the timely hot topics affecting real estate in Florida and Southwest Florida in particular. Now, if you want to reach us, two ways to do it. Our website, topagent.com, a lot of useful stuff you can do there. Search the entire MLS. You can take virtual tours of our properties. You can find out what's going on, housing stats, anything you want to do in the market. The other way is our phone number, which is 239-489-4042. I'd like to introduce my mother, Sandy Ellis. And Sandy, I thought we'd talk about a couple issues that are affecting the market, or I shouldn't say they're affecting the market, but I hear the buzz. And one of them is the oil spill. And we've long heard, we don't want a water spill. An oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, it would hurt real estate. I don't think it would help real estate.
Well, it's definitely going to hurt some things like the fishing, the oyster beds, all those kinds of things, I think, more than it's going to hurt our real estate market.
I'm not sure it's really going to hurt the real estate market, except for the extent, and, in this week's news press, we wrote an article about it. There's 3 or 4 things that can happen. There can be some environmental impact, and we know that's of deep concern.
And that could be a long-term effects.
There also could be political impact, and I don't know which way that'll shake out one way or the other.
Right.
But then there's also the economic impact. And I'm not so sure the economic will directly affect real estate prices or that. But to the extent that some businesses could be hurt, for instance, some of the restaurants, if they can't serve some seafood, let's say there's a shortage of seafood.
Right.
Well, a lot of the fishermen, of course.
Fishermen, yeah, that'd be tough on them. Anybody
who has a livelihood out there could be less money coming into the state. And tourism. If oil would wash up on our beaches, I would think a lot of tourists might not come here for a while until they hear it's cleared up. Now, it could also be a boom and work to your advantage because, let's say Biloxi, Mississippi gets hit, maybe the Destin area of Florida, and all those visitors are going to think about going somewhere. They might come to Fort Myers if we're not hit. So it's just kind of a hit or miss kind of a deal. But, it's something to think about anyway. But you know what? And the examples we gave in the newspaper was that usually fear is worse than reality. And we gave some examples. And do you remember a neighborhood called Highland Pines, another one called Danforth Lakes?
Yes.
Both of those subdivisions had churches that were going to come in and abut their property. And I remember Highland Pines was already established.
Correct.
And Danforth Lakes was a new subdivision, but they were trying to sell homes that butted up against what was potentially going to be a church.
Right.
Okay. It actually was a church.
Yes.
But in both those cases, buyers didn't want to buy because they were so afraid that the church would do irreparable harm to their property, almost like it was a brothel or something. It's like, or a Walmart, with millions of cars coming through. But it was a church, and once. But
you know what, Brett? Even if it had been a Walmart and there had been millions of cars, the fear, like you say, of the unknown is the problem. As soon as that building is built and constructed and people can see the fences and the barriers or whatever it is, then they start to buy it. There's no problem whatsoever.
People buy what they can see, and what they don't see, they don't understand. What they don't understand, they're fearful of. What they're fearful of, they do not buy.
Right.
Most people.
Right.
So, and that could also be true on a good thing. Let's say you have a new development, like one of these golf courses. A lot of them created these videos of they were like animated things of what it could or what it would look like. And then people said, oh, and they would buy. It makes it easier for people to understand.
Well, like U.S. Homes. Remember way back when? And they would come in and completely build their clubhouse and build out the amenities first. And those products were easy to sell.
Back when they had money.
Now
these developers are selling property first, and then we'll think about the amenities.
That's right, but those make tougher sales.
They do.
Much tougher. Look at Gulf Harbor, which took them a long time to even put in their clubhouse, the finished product, that kind of thing, and it made it more difficult. People were questioning, what's it going to look like? What's it going to have? And you can have a picture, you can have a video, but it's still, if you have that product there, it sells much more quickly.
Speaking of fear, do you remember when Hurricane Charlie hit?
I do.
And then in 04 and 05, it seemed like we had a hurricane about every Saturday. There was Francis, Jean,
You lost their names.
I can't
Yeah.
even, a lot of
Yeah.
them. We got down to Wilma in 05, and beyond. But Infinity and beyond, I think, the Hurricanes that year. But basically, everyone thought Charlie, because we kind of took more of a direct hit from Charlie in Lee County here. People said, oh, my goodness, it's going to kill the market. You know what? It was publicity, and it actually helped our market. We had people coming here from all over. It put us on the map. No one really knew about Fort Myers, Florida.
And the truth is, I'm told that even the no-name storm of what was that 40 years ago or whenever that was did the same thing. So it does.
Well, Donna wasn't a no-name storm. That was a big one at 40. Actually, that was 60, so that was about 50 years ago now, I think, wasn't it?
Probably. I don't know the exact date, but whatever that was, all of those things that we think might be a deterrent are actually a plus because people now think of that as a destination location. They think of that town. It's recently been in the news, so they're thinking of making a move. I mean, so an earthquake, a hurricane.
So if the hurricanes come here, maybe you ought to come check it out.
Absolutely.
We're a destination.
That's right. Right. Even if it's not named after you, come on.
Well, you're right. And, I'm not a fan of a ton of bad publicity, but I think that old saying that any publicity is good
It's
publicity.
good publicity. Yeah.
Hurricane
It actually puts you out
Charlie
there.
proved it.
That's right. It certainly
And,
did.
Now, I saw on TV the other day that a lot of the chambers of commerce are saying no one's canceling room reservations at the hotels and whatnot, the beach. But a lot of people are questioning. They think oil's all over the beach, and it's nowhere close to here, at least not now. Could be sometime, maybe. But I think the Chamber of Commerce that do the best job of educating people is, hey, we're fine, or here's the real impact, and kind of get the real news out so people know what to expect. Will do a better job of painting a picture.
Well, exactly. And actually, the Pine Island Chamber of Commerce sent out a note to their members asking for volunteers, asking for people who wanted to kind of, watch the beaches and note if, in fact, and if this oil started to come in. I thought that was interesting.
Right. Well, we'll have to do a beach watch. Now, a lot of people think Fort Myers is the beach, and our real estate market is not really that much of the beach. We go visit the beach, and we sell properties on the beach.
All right.
But 99.7% of our market is not on the beach.
That's right. That's right.
And so it's just not affected by whatever happens at the beach. Although
tourists may be affected.
We don't want
people calling.
We don't want to see tourism affected. We don't want to see our environment affected. And that would be a tragedy. And especially I feel for the people in Louisiana because all that shrimp and oysters, I guess 40% of the world's market comes from there.
Absolutely. So. I thought it was kind of interesting, though, some of the reports that did come out about this Gulf Stream and how the loop. Yeah. It's interesting that we really hadn't been exposed to that during hurricane season because it has a major impact on that. But nobody had actually
I've lived here 22 years, and I've never heard of the loop current.
That's right.
So you learn something all the time.
Absolutely.
And, like I said, we're going to have to educate people on what the oil is doing, but I think that's all it is educating people and letting them know. And, we've got about a minute left. Appraisals. Remember how we've been complaining about appraisals and the banks are hurting themselves?
Absolutely.
Jeff Sislow up in the Minneapolis area, I was on Facebook, and he's complaining about the HVCC appraisal system, how it's wrecking their market there, too. It's not a good system that the government came up with.
No, it's not, and we're always looking for improvements. As a matter of fact, we should be searching out, even maybe if there's a lender out there that does not have to use that HVC appraisal system. Is that possible? I don't know.
No, there's management companies. You have to use one of them. But our prices are starting to go up now, no thanks to the banks, because the banks have been doing their job to keep prices down.
Yeah, and
because they're underappraising everything.
Well, exactly. And you sell it for X, and they say it's X minus.
And it wouldn't be so bad if it was a good appraisal, but they're using bad comps.
Yeah, and when the market's already been hit, the prices are already way down, and the buyers are still coming in.
You don't need to exacerbate the problem.
Thinking that there should be less. There's just no way anybody's going to pay more.
Super. Well, we hit two big issues. You've been watching The Future of Real Estate presented by the Ellis team at RE/MAX. We enjoy bringing these each and every week, so stay tuned next week. We'll be right back. We're going to bring you some of our hot properties of the week, so you're going to definitely want to stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching.